Okay, gang, we're going to do a little bit of a unique segment here from SEMA. We're with Gary and Monika Wescott from turtleexpedition.com. That's right? Turtle Expedition?
Turtle Expedition Unlimited.
Turtle Expedition Unlimited and turtleexpedition.com. We're going to check out their rig. They have traveled the world, 40,000 miles, you said, Gary?
The last trip, yeah.
That's one trip. And this is the rig they've done it in. Now, this isn't their first rig, but they've been traveling for a long time, and they're going to show us this particular rig right now, so check it out. So what do we need to know about this one, Gary? How long have you had this rig?
The truck was built, a 1999 truck, and it was sponsored by Ford. And it was basically a cabin chassis with dually tires. We took the dually tires off and found a tire from Michelin that would actually carry the weight load in a single. And then we built the camper on the back, custom. We designed it. We had other people that were experts in framing and suspension and other things. We're not engineers, so have somebody else do it right.
Cool.
And so
this is not something that can be bought. This is custom built for you guys.
Well, there are companies that build these. There's one, the one that in the United States called GXV Camper, and they can actually clone this. They have one in fact called the Turtle.
Okay, cool.
Let them use our name. But one of the important things about it, it's very lightweight. It's made of this one happens to be made out of Nidacor, which is honeycomb material. And the camper only touches the frame in 3 places. That's standard European expedition camper design. 2 pads up in front and a big pivot bolt in the back.
Oh, cool.
That allows the frame to do whatever it wants to do, because you can't twist a box. It will break.
Right. Okay.
For sure. So you can't twist a box. So that eliminates that problem. And after that, it's just about installation. We have German dual pane windows, ice windows. It has mosquito screens and blinds built in. We made the windows small enough where most of the windows except one is too hard to climb through, and even that one would be really difficult for even a small kid. So it's security. We do have a pass-through in the cab. But the camper is designed on the inside to be as big as possible. We're going to live in this.
Right.
Yeah, but it has to be as small on the outside as possible, because we know the kind of roads we're going to drive.
Sure.
And I know that an American pickup truck can go on virtually any back road in the world. I'm not talking about the Rubicon. Okay, it's not a Jeep.
Right.
But I'm not going to. But I don't want to live in a Jeep anyway. People do with rooftop tents. But okay, tell me about that after you spent 4 days in a rainstorm in Guatemala.
Right.
Okay. So. The idea was to make it really small. We know the kind of roads we've been driving for 30 years when we built this truck, and now it's been 40, and we know this truck can go anywhere. We don't go off-road, by the way. In fact, Overland Journal, which is one of the magazines I write for, the Expedition Portal, they won't let me use the word off-road.
Oh, wow.
It's mostly illegal or immoral.
Right.
Or both.
Sure.
But we don't go off-road. It's one of those words that's catchwords. I wrote for Off-Road Magazine for 9 years.
Sure.
So we go on bad roads, very bad roads. 2 tracks, side roads, dirt roads, trails, scenic routes. We're gonna go off-road.
I think that's important for a lot of people, because people don't understand that for some reason, that they think that they can just drive across it because it's dirt and it's not hurting anything.
Yeah,
I think that's really a bad habit.
The fact is, it is hurting things, and in most places it's against the law. But as one forest ranger told me very well, somebody drove across a meadow up in the Sierras, and he said, "You know, Gary," he said, "you can legislate all you want to, but you can't legislate attitude."
Right.
Attitude is what makes people drive across the meadows when they shouldn't.
Absolutely. Cool.
Well, I think what makes this truck special is too that we had been traveling around the world with the Turtle 4, and the series in 4-Wheeler Magazine was very, very popular. But we wanted to change. We wanted to have something a little more comfortable. And so, as Gary said, we took the ideas from the Germans, and we took a piece of paper and ruler and pencil, and we drew this design.
It wasn't done on CAD, unfortunately.
So we designed it, and as Gary was writing about it in the 4-Wheeler Magazine, this concept of overlanding big spread, and that's how this whole industry started. I mean, he was the beginning of it.
Very cool.
GXV and Earth Rubber and all those didn't exist.
No.
We'd already been doing it for 15, 20 years, I guess. And we took these German ideas. That, you know, we never had a shower inside our 4-wheel pop-up camper. Where are you going to put it? And a bathroom? Put your pants up twice a day?
Right.
Where are you going to put it?
Right.
The Germans figured it out. Put it in the doorway. That's the shower.
Very.
Watch your head.
So this is the shower, okay? The controls are right here.
I'm going to go inside.
You're going inside too, okay?
So this is the shower right here.
This is that. As a dedicated 14-gallon tank. Well, also we take 4 showers, long showers, because we have 40 gallons of hot water. Because we have a hot plate that makes the hot water. It takes the. That's a whole other subject, hot water and water filtration. But this is a shower, and the porta potty which doesn't need to be bolted to the floor, so you can pick it up and move it wherever you want it. This happens to be on a 380-pound sliding track, so porta potty.
That is crazy cool.
Save space. You want one, but you don't want to sit out. You don't want it sitting out in the middle of the living room the whole time.
Right.
And this is our living room. So.
Right. That is amazing. So total space saver. Shower. Your restroom's right here.
Right in. Yeah.
Very
always
cool.
There. And people ask us, you know, what about the privacy? And we say, hey, if you're traveling around the country in a small camper for a year in third world countries, and you can't go to the bathroom in front of the person you're traveling with, what are you going to do?
Right.
Right now it's our wine storage. Big old socks, put a bottle of wine in it, it never breaks. Wine storage. And then tools have to be accessible. If you can't get to your tools, they're useless.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I love that. Love it.
And this is the pass-through again here. It's lockable on the inside, lockable on the outside. Forget our coffee cup or our map or something and it's pouring rain, we can reach through and get it.
Right.
Something we always do when we stop is we lock the hubs, point the truck in the direction we have to get out, and crack the window in the cab. So if somebody really comes up nasty, Monika can crawl through, start the truck, and drive away.
Very good.
And also when we ship the truck, this turns into a safe because we make artificial bars across the windows with thin strips of black painted aluminum put on with Velcro. Looks like bars.
Right.
We put the bars there and we put them on this big window here. So it looks like, I don't want to go there. It's much too, you know, I don't want to play. I can't get in the bar. I don't want to call through the bars.
Right.
So this is a safe. Everything on the front of the truck that we don't want to get stolen, like the lights and stuff like that, GPSs, they all come in here in a box.
Very cool. Very cool.
So another German idea back here is we made the bed slide up. Okay, this is the whole bed, full size. It comes all the way out to here. So we still have a sink at night. It slides out, slide the pin in, and we don't. Okay, this slides all the way out. There's the drawer. It's got a support brace on it. It comes all the way out to there. Then flips over. Okay.
Oh,
and there's,
very cool.
And there's the fitted sheets are already on it. 30 seconds, the bed's made. Depending on the temperature, down quilts, blankets, pillows are over here. It's all done.
Very cool.
Save space. Everything in the camper is built basically to marine standards. Full slide out drawers, metal latches that don't come open in the window on the road. And we have a camera inside so we can see if the refrigerator comes open. We do have a full refrigerator. We have propane stove. That's all we use propane for. Everything else is diesel. We have 3 heaters. One is down there that takes heat from the engine while we're driving if it's cold. And we just turn a fan on and the hot coolant from the engine circulates. The second is a D5 hydronic. It's an S-bar coolant heater. It heats coolant to 160 degrees. We actually have to have a thermostat controller that keeps the water down to 120. But that little heater heats coolant, and it has its own little pump, and you can pump it wherever you want that coolant to go. We can preheat the engine on cold mornings, which is important for diesel. We can revalve it and pass that 160 degree water through a flap plate, which is back underneath one of those compartments. It's a little item about the size of 2 pounds of butter, and it's a heat exchanger, German heat exchanger, and it takes that 163, runs it through a bunch of fins, and as soon as cold water passes through, it picks up that heat. And then the thermostat control brings that back down to 120. So I've got a button over here by my bed, and I can push that in the morning, and in 3 minutes I have hot water.
Very cool.
And we have 40 gallons of it. We don't have, before we had a 6-gallon water tank. We changed that when it went to the flat plate. 6-gallon water tank was wonderful, but I had to put 6 gallons of water, cold water, into it to get the 6 gallons of hot water out.
Right.
So we were always carrying around 6 gallons of water we couldn't use. A lot of weight, a lot of space.
Right. Which, when you're in this small of space is everything.
Space is everything. Yeah. In fact, originally we had an oven. We took it out because we don't need an oven on the road.
Right.
2 drawers.
See, I always say that.
We had a microwave. Took it out. Storage.
Right.
Microwave used to be there. So we pared down, knowing how much storage and how much. We didn't want to pull a trailer again across Siberia. We didn't want to do that again. So it's all about storage. And we have a 40-gallon water tank, and we use an Everpure water filtration. It's like super chlorinization. It's what all big cities use. We can put any kind of water into the tank. We were in China. We take it out of irrigation ditches. We took it out of streams, lake, whatever you can find the water. Fill the tank up, You put in a measured amount of chlorine, that kills everything. You're not worried, and then it goes through 2 filters. It goes through a coarse filter, which takes out, sticks and pieces of leaves. And then it goes through a secondary filter that takes out big stuff, like amoebas and giardia. That's big, that's bacteria.
Right.
What we're worried about in third world countries is viruses. The chlorine kills everything, and the filter takes the chlorine out. So you can wash your hands in the water. It smells like Los Angeles tap water. You don't want to drink it, but all the cooking and coffee and everything else comes out of this faucet, and that's filtered, and it tastes like spring water.
Very cool.
The same one in our house, we use the same one in our office.
Very cool. So everything you could possibly want, and how many square feet do you estimate this to be?
I have no idea. But we can dance in here.
We could dance a little bit, yeah.
We can pass each other without bumping into each other.
Yeah, it's surprisingly a lot of space.
And again, all the drawers have everything we need in them.
I like those latches.
Save on space. Film cans. Can't get those anymore. I got boxes of them.
Yeah. Very cool, Gary. Very cool.
Filing cabinet. We have to keep records. Filing cabinet
right
in here. Behind this cabinet right here, which is accessible to from the outside and the inside we're filming, there's 14 gallons of oil, because you cannot get oil in a lot of these countries. In fact, when we were in Kyrgyzstan, I drained the oil, 15 liters, and I wanted to get rid of it. I put it in a big box in a plastic bag, great oil pans, and I was trying to find a place that would take the oil, and recycle it. Couldn't find it. Finally, I found a place, and he said $5. And I said, $5? I'm not going to pay you $5 to take my good. Turned out after a little bit of negotiation, he wanted to buy the oil for $5.
Right. That's awesome.
So this camper is made for 2 people. It's not. It doesn't make it into a bed. I suppose you could if you had to.
Right.
But we basically knew that it was going to be. We wanted to make it comfortable for 2 people, not uncomfortable for 4. There's no way.
Sure.
We have 2 propane tanks. They'll last about 2 months or more. And the reality is that people don't realize this. Propane is not a gas.
Right.
Propane is liquid.
Right.
You can get propane anywhere in the world. Just find an exchange tank, turn it upside down, get the right connections, open your valve, open that valve, fill your tank up.
Right.
We filled in probably practically every country we were in. We filled up once. Even in, now we didn't do it in China, but we did it in Mongolia, and we did it in Russia, and Greece, and France, and Italy. And for ventilation, we don't have air conditioning. When it gets really hot, well, we suffer because the camper also holds its heat very well because of the Nitacore.
Right.
But we have fantastic vents, and we can crack a window back there over my head,
flow through,
and put the fan on low out, and we get this breeze coming over us, so that works.
Right.
Yeah.
Very cool, guys. Thank you so much for sharing this with us.
I mentioned those ice windows. You can put them like that, or you can actually open them and lock them open, so you have a vent.
Oh, that's nice.
And stay up there. It has mosquito screens that come down. And Monika says that's important. Most of the campers have mosquito screens. A lot of campers have the mosquito screens that come up. So but if it comes up, there's no privacy. Yeah, you can still see out. You don't need a big window to see out. You need a big window to crawl through.
Right.
So now you have this, but you can see out. If it was the other way around, Monika's worried about them seeing her well.
Right.
Everything is designed for a specific space, maximum space.
Right.
Pelican cases fit in here exactly they're empty now, but that's where the camera equipment goes. Plates, there's no reason to have a 14-inch plate that you have a shelf this big for it. So these are made both more or less to fit what we use.
Right. Same thing. 2 people, you don't need to have. If somebody's going to come over for dinner, they need to bring their own plates.
Exactly, yeah. Bring your own chair too. Yeah. We have a barbecue that's hooked up to the two propane tanks, so we can grill. We have.
But if you are with other campers, they usually come and bring their own gear.
Absolutely, I think it's kind of the unsaid rule or unspoken rule.
And we always have a barbecue grill. If there's wood, we'll build a barbecue and set the barbecue up on top of it.
Right.
That's another thing we always do.
Very cool. So if someone wants to check out your stuff, it's turtleexpedition.com?
Yep.
Cool.
And we can also give you a website on, if they want to see more about this truck, if they go to Expedition Portal, there is a story that Cliff Collard wrote, and we've added several pictures, 20 pictures to it with captions, and they get more detail about the truck.
All right, perfect. So turtleexpedition.com and Expedition Portal.
Right. And right now we are not here. We are in Georgia.
Oh, okay.
The country of Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Headed for the ferry to take us across the Caspian Sea. So if people want to follow us, they can go to our website and click on the blogs.
All right.
Or they can sign up for the blogs and they'll get an email every time there's a new one.
Very cool. Very cool. Gary, thank you so much. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it.
I hope you guys can keep the spirit. Go.
We're gonna try.
Absolutely.
We're gonna try. We're gonna start here in the U.S., but we are thinking about doing Europe maybe in the next couple of years, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
America,
I gotta talk
South
City Girl
America.
into doing some of that stuff. So.
South America. So you gotta just, it takes practice. I mean, you use something for 15 years, you get good at it.
Right.
The first time you go, then you think you need a big motorhome. We started in a Land Rover, so.
That is amazing. See, they started in Land Rover.
That's adventure.
You get, and I know people that, well, I mean, I started camping and with tents on the ground. That's where we started. So I started. So that's really small. And then the Land Rover was, Hilton. God, we could sleep inside. Wake up in the morning if we had to. We could even turn it over, have a little sink, and we could actually boil hot water and make coffee.
Oh, very cool. Very,
See,
very
people,
cool.
when there is a will, there is a way.
Yes.
So just check out his stuff, and it's amazing what they have done with their stuff. So I highly recommend it.